Dua Lipa just dropped her new album, Radical Optimism. It is her first album in 4 years since Future Nostalgia, and it's very interesting. This album sees a departure from the disco pop era of Dua Lipa and instead sees her gravitate towards a new era of having more dance-infused beats in her music, which is very interesting. We already had 3 singles from this album: Houdini, Training Season, and Illusion, and we've also had the promo single These Walls released before the album released. Now the album is definitely not radical, but it is definitely something. Okay, fuck it. It's not new for Dua Lipa to go into electronic music. We've had collaborations with Calvin Harris and Mods and Gags that were huge, but still, it is interesting, even more so when you realize that you have Jani El Hal on production here, who's a very interesting figure in terms of the music they've produced. Now, how's the album itself? I think it's alright. I think this is probably Dua Lipa's best album, but I think my dance bias kind of ends up coming into picture here with this, but probably this is her best album. Then again, most of Dua Lipa's early music isn't that good, so yeah. The problem with this album is that the album peaked with its singles. Illusion is the best song here, honestly. If you feel like you're gonna get something more from this album, then I'm sorry to disappoint you, because in my opinion, Illusion is probably the best song here. Then again, it's probably Dua Lipa's best song ever. Houdini I do find alright. I mean, I've not been so huge on it, but it's still pretty good. But you do have the consolation that Training Season is, in my opinion, one of the weaker songs of this album. But I've never really been a fan of the more bumpy chorus of Training Season. So what are the standouts from the album itself? Well, I'd say Falling Forever is definitely a massive standout here. That one is a pop. I do like the chorus of this a lot, and those high notes were absolutely gorgeous in this one. And Maria is also quite good. Honestly, for a second I got scared that this one samples the Scooter song, but it does not. And I think the Maria I'm beginning to feel a lyric is kind of clever, but otherwise there's really nothing much going on with the album outside those 4 songs that I just mentioned: Illusion, Falling Forever, Maria, and Houdini. The other songs are just fine. Like, they're just fine, honestly. The problem with a lot of music in 2024 has been that they've not made me feel much of a strong emotion. I don't feel a sort of strong hatred listening to it, but I don't feel like a strong sort of liking while listening to a lot of it either. And I think this is my feelings for the Dua Lipa album too. It's pretty generic dance pop, but I think in the context of Dua Lipa, it does end up working out quite well in the end. Yeah. Would I return to it? Nah. I don't think I'd actually explicitly come back to listen to this album unless I actually feel like it, because there are a lot of better artists there who could probably do this sound a lot better than Dua Lipa do. I will obviously come back to Illusion and Falling For You, though those are, in my opinion, the 2 standouts from this album. The weak songs? Now, I think I'd like to talk about French Exit here for a while, because now I think French Exit, in my opinion, is not great. The chorus is just there, and the weird part where she says French Exit Ferreira Anglais doesn't really sound great, in my opinion. Obviously, there are a few songs that are weak here, but I think French Exit is the weakest one here, in my opinion. Obviously, Anything for Love and What You're Doing, in my opinion, are also 2 weak songs here. I will put my ranking of this entire album at the end here, don't worry about that, along with the scores too, how much I give it. How much would I give this album overall as a score though? I feel a high 7, a low 7, somewhere around a 7, I think. It's definitely not going to cross 7 though. I mean, that's the thing with it. It's good. It's not bad. It's pretty good. But I wouldn't come to return to this album much, to be fair. I don't return to Houdini and Training Season much anyways. Illusion is still obviously a pop. I've mentioned this for the 4th time. I think I should have come with the script here. And I think the production here could have been better. It kind of ends up sounding sorts of samey towards the middle of the album. I think that does require some work here. Overall, I do like this direction from Dua Lipa a lot more than the Future Nostalgia album though, because the Future Nostalgia album was not great in my opinion. But this is good. This is the end of the 5-minute review of the album. This is the ranking. Thank you for watching, and I hope you do like the album. If you do, and if you don't like it, not my problem. Have a good day.